you did hear the part where I said you gave me a boner, right?
Yeah. Hello and welcome to another episode of Cheap Smut. My name is Katie Mizell.
And my name is Carl Mizell.
And this is a podcast that ran out of red yarn this week. How are you?
I am fine. I did not have such a crisis as running out of red yarn because in addition to being crafty, you're also conspiratorial.
I am. Oh my God. The Charlie, I know we make this joke every week, but the Charlie Day board I could make with this series and all of the other work that is related to it would marvel the most conspiratorial among us, I'm sure.
Oh, absolutely. Plus, I feel like it's a good penultimate. So, because this is our 99th mainline episode.
Yes.
Next week, this is kismet.
I know.
That we are going to be in Baltimore, Maryland, May 8th through the 10th for Monsterotica Book Con.
Yes.
Created and hosted by Cassie, a.k.a. Unfortunate Reads. Yes. And while we're there, we're going to, after the day's festivities, probably on Friday, we'll head up to our hotel room and we will record our 100th episode.
Yes, we will.
At our second convention.
Mm-hmm.
And that just feels so perfect. But this episode, this is sort of, it's like a prequel to that because the 100th we're going to talk about, I'm sure it's going to be a longer episode because we're going to get mushy and weepy and all that stuff. But this book that we're doing this week harkens back 76 episodes ago. Back to when I feel like we really started to hit our stride. There was a run of episodes there. I am so sorry, Bonnie. There was a run of episodes there in late summer of 03 that I felt like
03
or 23. Excuse me, 23.
Jesus Christ.
Time
travel.
When you were 15.
Exactly.
Episode. Let's see here. 16 Glitch. 17, 18. Our last two-parter, Courageous Hearts. Stepbrother Summer. Banger. Greedy. Banger. Bloody Sunrise. Banger, Ensnared, and then Pump Fake, Unhinged, and Bisexual Mailman makes a special delivery in our butts, and then Not All Himbos Wear Capes. We really did hit a stride there, didn't we? Exactly. So this book is another of the New York Nighthawks books.
Yes, it
is.
Now,
Pump Fake, episode 23, was the first time we did that. And we talked about this last week. It was an excellent episode. Please go back and listen to it. We had so much fun, but it was a little out of character for us because we were a little meaner than our Midwestern selves like to be sometimes. We got a little salty.
It goes a little bit against the Cheap Smut model. Even when I listen to it, it chafes me a bit. The Cheap Smut model is there's value in everything, and we love it all.
Yeah.
We don't say mean shit.
Yeah, and while it wasn't that bad, and we stand by it. We're not going to take the episode down or anything like that. It did feel like anybody listening to it might have had their yums yucked a little bit, perhaps. Because that book was bug fuck, and we were just, not ready. We've got 76 more episodes under our belt. We've learned a lot about how to do this show and how to really more truly embrace everything.
Yes.
So as a lead up to that 100th episode, I feel like this is a good entree or like an on-ramp into that, where we go back to a series that we did almost 2 years ago and revisit another book in that crazy fucking series. And so this week we are doing Spread Offense by Fiona Davenport from the New York Nighthawks series.
Yes, we are. So Spread Offense is book 11 of the 12 currently available New York Nighthawk books. And I had to make a chart.
Yes, you did.
To keep track of all of the characters and everyone involved in it because it was quite confusing for me after a while.
And I had to answer questions about positions and position names and what they do and their role on the field.
The football positions. I mean, let's be clear.
Yeah, I don't need help with that.
I don't need help with that. I don't need you to name the positions. I'm a big girl, but I don't know much about football.
This is brimping.
Shout out to anybody who knows what that means.
If you heard that term and you know what it means, let us know, because we are now best friends.
Right. So Fiona, as we know, is a prolific smut author, and she focuses on heteronormative relationships and like insta-love dynamics. The books that I love the books very, very much, but these are the books that you have to like take off your feminism for.
Yeah.
So like, you know, you come home, you take your hat off at the end of the day. So we're going to come into this book and we're just going to take our feminism off a little bit, because again, the heteronormative dynamics are very in your face.
Yes.
Yeah. Let's go with that. I think of these books as sort of my spiritual equivalent to something like the Real Housewives franchise.
Yeah.
And I think, in my opinion, passes the vibe check. The Real Housewives franchise passes the vibe check. And I don't care if you don't agree with me. Mm-hmm. Those shows, for as much as they are trash, have done a whole lot for women in the last 20 years that they've been on the air. And I stand by that.
I don't know enough about it to say one way or another, but I trust you implicitly, so I stand by you.
I guess so, like the women on the Real Housewives shows, as far removed from it as I am, this is the information that I've gotten from it. So people hate them for their behavior because they're like a spectacle, or they're behaving very rich and unbecoming. And in a way, I'm like, good.
Yeah.
Be unbecoming, be powerful and rude, be fucking evil, because a woman is not a dainty flower who's meant to sit there and look pretty and behave herself.
Yeah.
You know, some of these women are really rich and really powerful and really bitchy.
Yeah.
And that's not necessarily a good thing to be, but it's also a pretty good representation of women on television, in my opinion.
No, it's like that fantastic little video you showed me the other day. That fantastic piece of art. She is not delicate like a flower. She is delicate like a bomb.
Yes. Anyway, all that to say, if you're going to support women's rights, you better support women's wrongs.
Hey.
Okay?
Yeah.
Okay. So this is Spread Offense, book 11 in the New York Nighthawks. Well, I mean,
Nighthawks.
The New York Nighthawks series. It is available for $2.99 or through Kindle Unlimited, $6.99 for an Amazon paperback. Because there are 12 books, it can be confusing to keep up with all of the players and the various characters who are involved. And I did make a chart. I will get that chart for you if you want it. It's not particularly complicated.
It's okay.
But what I did learn while researching that chart, let's get into the Charlie Day. Do you remember the owner of the Nighthawks?
Yeah,
Lennox Madison.
Yes, Lennox Madison.
And he is a billionaire.
Correct. Who owns a corporation?
No.
Oh.
His wife's father owns a corporation.
K-Corp?
Owns K-Corp.
Yeah, okay.
Yes. Or something like that. I can't remember exactly what the order.
Yeah, because they had that.
K-Corp is in there. And I actually have some notes in here about that.
Okay.
But so the first thing I learned was that if you want to know Lennox Madison's story, you can by reading Vows of Love, book 14 in the Love series by Fiona Davenport, the first book of which is the story of Justice Kendall, the owner of K-Corp. I knew I had notes in there somewhere for that. So Love series book 1, Justice Kendall, owner of K-Corp, is the creepy spying billionaire guy who gives everybody permission to watch their wives at his office. Yeah. Yeah.
All their future mistresses.
And Lennox Madison is the owner of the Nighthawks. Both of them, you can read their stories in a completely different series.
Oh, thank Christ.
I'm telling you, man, I ran out of red string.
Yeah.
There's so much. So I am super glad that she has got that much imagination, but the world that she has created must be an absolutely wild place to live. And so like to keep it all encapsulated and like make it easy for myself to digest, I have adopted the Marvel model. So this is like Earth 9746 Fionaverse.
Okay, yeah.
And now all of those rules make sense because it's Fionaverse, right?
Fair.
So all of those weird interconnecting universe like people, it all makes perfect sense. And I love that. It just makes it easier for me. Let's get into our triple T's, our triggers. Toxic patriarchy and heteronormative dynamics. Suspend your disbelief and lean in. It just makes everything easier to swallow. Tropes. This is an FM cis heterosexual heteronormative insta-love story, age gap story, football romance, and nerds in love.
Oh.
And then for our titillations, as always, a virgin FMC, Mile High Club, nipple piercing and nipple play, unprotected sex, edging, and orgasm denial as power play.
Like you can't have one or they don't exist.
Like you can't have one.
I wonder what the Venn diagram of orgasm deniers and flat earthers is.
Well, the female orgasm deniers and the flat earthers, I bet there's a pretty big overlap.
Probably a flat circle.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the Earth is flat and therefore there's nothing round, so the clit's supposed to be round, but it's also flat, so it's not really there. Something
beta cuck.
Yeah.
I do not speak incel. And now that Duolingo has openly expressed their AI forward policies, I don't think I'll ever get a chance to learn.
Oh, no.
I know. It's really sad because I was really enjoying learning French, but I don't think I can keep the app.
Yeah, no kidding.
It really sucks.
Yucky. Anyway,
let's talk about this book where things are yucky, but in a funny way.
Yes.
Okay. So we are returning to the world of the New York Nighthawks, which is a professional football team owned and operated by the only guy in the industry who believes in true love and wants all of his players to settle down and get married.
Right, the Dallas Dads.
The Dallas Dads.
Yeah. No, there was the whole bit about, Brady Summers, you can be our quarterback if you get a girlfriend. It was really fucking out there.
But he does continue to be like Cupid incarnate in this book too. Like it's a running theme.
Hey, listen, commit to the bit.
Yeah, Lennox is here for it. So because the Nighthawks are a very modern team run by a very modern owner, I guess, Lennox has also decided to expand by funding the creation of a football video game.
Oh, how philanthropic of him.
Yes, a multiplayer franchise game which incorporates requests and gripes from like various real world players of the sport of football who are also nerds who think these things need to be changed in video games.
Sure, let's go with that.
Yeah, why not? So basically they want to make a more realistic game of imaginary football. When you get done at your football job and you want to go home and do more football job, that's what they want.
So kind of like how I play Out of the Park.
Yeah.
Which is what if baseball and spreadsheets had a baby?
Yeah, basically.
Okay,
and how you love that? Yeah. So the game, which they have named Beaumont Football in honor of the Nighthawks' legendary head coach, Coach Beaumont.
Of course.
Is now in its limited release beta stage and has a limited pool of devs and like various Madison employees and actual Nighthawks players all doing a massive blind beta.
I need to stop you for a second because I genuinely need to ask, are you fucking with me right now? This is the 4,723rd way I would have guessed this book would open.
I am not fucking with you at all.
Jesus Christ.
I am not fucking with you.
I honestly, I was like, I am not this high right now. Did I end up?
Not, but you better be yes-anding this shit.
Oh, yeah, no, I am. I'm yes-anding the fuck out of it.
Yeah.
I wanted to make clear. This is cheap smut.
This is cheap smut.
Okay.
This is really happening right now.
Yeah.
5 things you can see, 4 things you can smell, 2 things. Whatever your grounding exercises are. Yeah. It's real.
Okay.
So, 2 such nerds who are now involved in this blind beta are our FMC.
Okay.
Rory Abernathy.
I love it.
She's like 5'3"-ish, mid-sized and curvy with very curly, like wild brown hair and hazel eyes. And she always wears like red framed glasses.
I've seen it.
She's never given a cultural background, but in my head, she's Latina.
All right.
So, sure. Rory is 21 and she is a junior at NYU and she's double majoring in mathematics and computer science. In her previous semester for a final, she did a visual data analysis of the NYU baseball team, which was apparently really great and somehow caught the eye of the chief analyst for the Nighthawks, who contacted her professor and was like, we would like to offer her an internship on our offensive data line this year.
This is the least horny way the book could have started. What is going on?
I know. It's so fucking nerdy. It's so nerdy and not at all horny. It's crazy. It's still Fiona. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
It's still Fiona. We're getting there.
All right.
But okay. So a perk of this internship that Rory has received is that she was offered an opportunity to beta Beaumont football as an intern for one of Madison's many, whatever. And she took that for two reasons. One, she's a fucking nerd and she would never turn down the opportunity to early beta a game.
Of course.
And two, the sheer amount of data and stats that has been organized and formatted for this game that is now available to her for every single player from their freshman stats forward. Mm-hmm. And she fucking loves the stats. That's why her gamer tag is all about the stats.
Okay.
One word.
Yeah.
She has, however, also formed an attachment to another player within the game who she plays with on headset almost every night, a dude that they can't know who each other are for the purposes of this beta because there are actual players and they're trying to keep everybody's information a secret.
Okay.
Nobody's allowed to really give any personal information, but they do talk like every night and they're friendly and they're flirty and the banter is bantering. And we spend the prologue of the book in all of their gamer antics. The other player is a guy called Spread Offense. He definitely didn't call himself that because it sounds dirty. Yes, he did, but he would never admit it. And because they're doing this blind beta thing, and because they are not allowed to reveal any personal information about their identities, there is no way that Rory can know that this guy that she's talking to every night is our MMC, Gage Ledger, starting running back for the New York Nighthawks.
Okay.
So Gage Ledger is 31, 6 feet tall, 210 pounds. Athletes, they always get really easy stats.
Yeah.
I love that. That.
But he would be a bit on the smaller end for a modern conventional running back. They're usually a little more sturdy, like 6 foot, 5'11", 220, 225, a little more. Harder to take down, a little lower to the ground.
Okay, but 210. He's just.
I mean, he's still a big dude.
Built a little more for speed, I guess.
Yeah, I guess so.
He has brown hair and green eyes, perpetually flirty smirk. He is your standard issue athlete, book boyfriend model, brown hair.
Got it.
Yeah.
Brown hair edition.
Brown hair edition. And there is no way that Gage, who has also developed a crush on this funny, nerdy, football obsessed girl he talks to every night, could ever know that the woman that he has been talking to every single night is now also working within the organization. And as much as he wants to tell her who he is, and as much as he knows, like, at some point this beta will close and I'll have the opportunity to tell her who I am, he kind of doesn't want to, because he kind of doesn't want to ruin it. It's perfect kind of the way it is right now. And he's kind of nervous to say anything because he's a big fucking nerd. And he's just a scared baby inside. Which is wild because he's also Gage fucking Ledger.
No, and it kind of ties in. It does there is some lineage there, and I don't remember which old Marvel writer said it, but like he wrote something that was a little more risque. But basically, he was like, I always thought it was dumb that these grown adult men, with superpowers, like gods among mortals, they get around a woman in the comics and they're like, oh, gee, golly chucks, man. Like it's so ridiculous. That's what this feels like.
Yeah, it does a bit. And yet they are all very smooth and they all have like a lot of sexual history.
Yeah, of course.
It's the women they actually really like that they just become like blithering messes for, which I guess, that's cute. We love it, right? We love it. Lean in. The fantasy is real. So at the end of the prologue, we spend some time with Gage, who is beating himself up because he can't can like say how he feels to this girl, and he doesn't know that he'll ever be able to. And all of his buddies on the team are like getting married and settling down, and fuck, Brady's wife is going into labor right now. Like, holy shit. And he's just too chicken shit.
Brady's 18-year-old wife. He knocked up on day 2 while they were still fake dating.
Yeah, he knocked her up pretty quick. He did. Some unknown amount of time later, but not long, a few days maybe, we meet back up with Rory, who is trying to get ready for her first day at her new internship, while simultaneously taking a 3-way call with her 2 older brothers, who are older brothering all over the place. Like, they called to congratulate her and wish her luck on her first day, but then 2 seconds in, it's all, she's alone in the big city. God, can you imagine if she ever gets a boyfriend? Yeah. I don't care. I don't care what older brothers have to say. I don't.
You all know what hand gesture she just made. I'm not even going to say it. You all know.
So she holds her own. She's like, I am a grown adult woman living alone, and I can handle myself. Stop treating me like a child. And eventually she ends that phone call. Her brothers by the name are Russell and Ridley. All of the Abernathy children have our names.
Yeah.
That's just...
I had an aunt and uncle that had 5 kids, all with K's.
Yeah. I had a teacher in high school whose siblings were all D. And all of her siblings were D's.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. So Rory, Ridley, and Russell have a familial love of sports. They also rib her a little bit about how she's working for a football team, even though Russell considers baseball the superior sport and Ridley considers hockey the superior sport. It's very sports camaraderie kind of family dynamic that they have.
Well, at least we can agree that Rory's wrong. That's the important thing.
That football's not the best sport.
It's not.
Yes, but I think we can all agree that football is not
it's not the best
superior sport. No,
at least here at Smutco Industries.
Not at Smutco.
That's the official company policy.
Yeah, I mean, if you want a sport with big dudes and an oblong ball, might I suggest rugby, because they give each other awesome wedgies all the time.
Or Aussie rules football.
There's so much butt cheek in rugby.
There's so much butt cheek.
Oh man, that shit's wild. But anyway, back to this. As she heads to work for her first day, she considers how she got this job and how she started loving baseball, and football is crazy. Like, the whole sports thing that happens while she's on her way to work. And she ends that by thinking that, like, maybe if she's really lucky, she'll run into her favorite player whom she has a huge crush on, Gage Ledger, in the tunnels, if she's lucky. Of course. At the stadium, she sits down in the booth with her boss and some other staff and asks a few questions and kind of gets a feel for the place, including a couple of questions that help me understand the sport of football a little bit better. So good job.
All right.
Down on the field, Gage sees the incredible hottie up in the booth and feels this instant lust for her, but that also makes him feel super guilty because he's got this crush on all about the stats girl in his ears that he can't say anything to, and now he's crushing on some girl he's never even met. There's a whole lot going on in Gage's head. I mean, for real. He spends the rest of practice beating himself up until he runs into his buddy Cole O'Hara, who is the offensive coach, head offensive line coach or something.
Offensive coordinator?
Sure, yeah.
Or offensive line coach.
Offensive line coach. Okay, so he runs into Cole in the tunnels after practice, and Cole has Rory trailing behind him because Rory's now doing data analysis for the offensive team. So he's leading her through the rest of her tour. And as soon as she says 2 words to Gage, he recognizes her voice.
Thank Christ.
She recognizes his voice right back. And Cole is like, oh, good, you guys know each other. I have to go. Do you have a ride? Do you have a safe way to get home? He's talking to Rory. It's nighttime outside now. Do you have your transportation is good? And Gage is like, don't worry, I'll get her home. No problem. As soon as Cole is gone, she turns back to Gage and is like, I should fucking kick your ass. Why the hell did you let me go on and on about how great Gage Ledger is every single night while we were gaming? I must have sounded like an absolute psycho. What the fuck, man? And he's like, no, it was cute. Honestly, I liked it. I did. I liked it. And it made me feel a little better about the fact that every time I heard your voice, I got a hard on. Like he like leans right in as soon.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
Oh man. As soon as the hottie in the booth and all about the stats are the same woman, he gets over whatever like brief shyness he had. And he's just like, let me put a baby in you.
I wish this. So if I were making a movie that was this like a movie version of this book, they would be in the tunnel and Gage would have his back to the field so that, and then Rory would have her back to the rest of the tunnel. That way, when you cut to the reverse on Rory and you see Gage and he says that, then that's when the marching band practices. And it's a marching band, but it's the color guard.
Yeah.
And they're all just walking behind him, waving 25 people waving red flags. But Rory perseveres and completely ignores it.
Oh my God. Yeah. Yes. Yep. Because sometimes you ignore the red flags. You just yes and the whole situation. So Rory is shook. I mean, she's shooketh, right? Because this is her NFL crush and it's also her gamer crush all rolled into one, right? And he is hitting on her in the tunnels. This is wild. This is not what she expected. And she brushes off the advances because like he has gorgeous women throwing themselves at him all the time, right? So, like, who the fuck is she? And he says they can throw themselves, but that doesn't mean he ever catches them.
Yeah, I'm a running back. People have to hand me shit.
That's what she says. Yeah. That's what she says. She's like, well, maybe it's because you're a running back and you're used to just carrying things.
Exactly. Yep. Now, to be fair, sometimes modern running backs do catch passes out of the backfield.
Yeah.
But primarily they're handed things. Here, take this.
Here, take this. Now run.
Now go.
Now
no.
Go fast.
I do not know. We've been through this. I do not trust you. Every time I throw this to you, you fucking drop it.
Just take it.
Take it and go.
Okay, I have a question. In football, when you hand off the ball to the running back and they take off in the direction they're supposed to be going, whatever direction that is, I don't know. Are you legally required to smack them on the butt before they go?
Yes, and bonus points if you say, go on, get!
Yes. Okay, good. That just makes me happy to know that
that's actually
they run. You have to smack.
That's
them on the bum.
actually the most called penalty is lack
of bum smack.
He did not on the handoff. The quarterback did not complete the ass smack. 5-yard penalty, loss of downs.
And you have to say you're sorry.
And you have to lean into the referee's microphone that he has and say you're sorry to the whole crowd.
Sorry.
Good job.
I'm just imagining like, sorry. Tweet, and then just play continues. Anyway,
third down.
So the football joking happens, and then he says that he may be a running back, but if she ever threw herself at him, he would catch like Clay Henson, who is a wide receiver. Read book 4 if you want to know about Clay.
Okay.
His book is called Go Deep. He's a wide receiver, so clever, right?
Yeah.
So Gage grabs her by the hand and holds hands with her as he leads her out of the tunnels into the player parking lot and to his truck, which is so massive that he has to like lift her up to put her into it, of course, for some reason.
The Ford compensator.
You live in New York.
Yeah.
You live on Long Island. Why do you need a pavement princess like that?
Maybe in the off season he has a home in the upstate part of New York.
Maybe,
maybe he has a ranch.
I don't know. He doesn't, as far as I know.
I said maybe.
But either way, that has nothing to do with Gage and everything to do with my complaints about massive trucks. So Gage drives her to her apartment in the village, not too far away. And on the way, they talk about her internship, about gaming, about sports. And eventually they land on her brothers and how overprotective they are. And she's starting to see some of that like Cro-Magnon behavior in Gage a little bit. Like the overprotectiveness is already starting to come out. And she does the whole, like, I'm a grown-ass woman living in New York spiel. I do not need another brother taking care of me. And he's very quick to point out that he does not think of her as a sister. Thank you so much.
No. I want to be balls deep in you.
This is not that kind of taboo romance.
No. I've made it pretty clear. You did hear the part where I said that you gave me a boner, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So the look on his face when he tells her that has her panties like combusting, obviously. Yeah, so he walks her up to the door of her building before he has to walk away from her, which is a mortal sin. He can't do it. She asks if he wants to have dinner, but she lives in like a pretty student-centered part of the village, and he is a pretty famous person, so they're just going to order in. They're not going to risk going out in public. On their way up, she tells him, I can't remember how the conversation started, but it got to this point where she told him that she can always tell when he's thinking something dirty. Like he has a tell when he's on headset. If they say something that could be taken as dirty, he suddenly gets very quiet. And then he shouts at one of his players to get their head in the game. And that's how she knows that he is thinking something filthy. And then she says that he has gone quiet now. So what dirty thing is going on inside of his head?
Get your head in the game. Oh God,
girl,
so sorry.
You are so brazen, right? But he was thinking about her naked, right?
Of course.
In a much smoother and more charming way, he told her that he was thinking about seeing her naked. Yeah. They eventually make it up to her apartment, which is a studio, like 200 square feet, that she has made very functional and personal as much as she can. She's got like a lofted bed and desk and a little couch, kitchenette, and a bathroom and closet attached or something. But there's
combo.
Not really much,
bathroom closet combo.
The shower rod is also the hanger rod, I guess.
My clothes are a shower curtain.
Yeah.
It gets really inconvenient.
Yeah. I have to make sure that I only wear the things that are on the outside layer.
I just rotate them out. That's how I also do my laundry.
You just rotate, yeah. Exactly. They're always clean.
So that's
it's
why you
super functional.
That's why you always wear 6-foot long gowns.
Is that why you always smell a little stale? Girl. Anyway, so they order food, they talk football stats. There's a lot of nerding out about football, and then they talk about sort of like her function on the team and what she will be doing for them and how often she will be traveling with them. And she says that she will be at all of the home games and present at as many of the away games as her schedule will allow, but she's a student and she doesn't know what her schedule is going to be like for the semester. Eventually she does find out that she doesn't have classes on Friday and she doesn't have to be on campus until like Monday afternoon, so she can travel the weekends with them pretty regularly.
Yeah.
She does tell him that the first game that they have, the first away game that they have, she will be attending because it's in her hometown. And so she's going to take the opportunity to go and see her family while she's there. And this has Gage like immediately scheming to meet her parents. He knows it's way too soon, but also he can't not like, I need to meet her parents, right? Like this is the right thing to do.
That is the order of operations. Tell her she gives you a boner, immediately meet her parents.
Right? Yes,
Tell
exactly.
them she gives you a boner.
Yeah. And then immediately sign the restraining order that they present to you.
Yeah. You know what? Totally fair.
Yep. Got you. Oh, 300 feet. Wow. You know a judge?
You know, that's the length of a football.
Oh,
yeah.
Brad. Her dad's name is Brad. Brad.
Little Easter egg for you in that restraining order.
So, as the evening is winding down, he decides that he needs to go. He's got fewer and fewer reasons to not like strip her naked, and he feels that she is too special to be jumping into bed with on the very first date. He owes her more respect than that. She agrees.
I got a boner, but we shouldn't fuck this right now.
I mean, you make me horny, but I also respect that that's real fast, I guess.
Yeah. Okay. That actually, no. You know what? Yeah. No. That is me coded. I feel like
it's not awful. I mean,
No.
he's not like fully you coded, but he's a himbo for fucking sure.
You need to know you make me really horny, but I want to respect you.
Yeah.
But you need to know.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like chemical. I don't fucking understand.
Going to the doctor. She agrees that they should not have sex tonight, but she, in that moment, lets it slip that it would also have been her first time having sex at all, of course, because this is a Fiona FMC.
Yeah.
And he has that weird caveman reaction that some folks kind of have about virginity. I don't know. But he beats that into submission inside of his own head. He never says anything. And as I always say, as long as you keep it in the brain pan and don't let it ooze out your mouth hole, you can have whatever thoughts you want. So it's fine. He does tell her that he is grateful that she told him. It does not bother him or freak him out, but it does make him more determined to make their first time special.
Okay.
He is also, as he leaves, thinking to himself that he's determined to be her only ever partner. But again, he keeps it in the head.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
I can't police your thoughts because I don't want you policing mine.
Yeah.
So, okay. They, before he leaves, share one perfect, awesome fireworks kiss, and then he dips. At the away game in Rory's hometown the following weekend, she has coordinated with the team to fly out with them, but she's flying home commercial so that she can get a little extra time with her family and have dinner with them. But Lennox Madison is an altruistic billionaire son of a bitch. He will be paying for her trip home. The team will be paying for her trip home commercial anyway, right?
All right. At least there's one good billionaire.
A fact that she is sure to thank her boss, Percy, for as they're sitting in the booth that night during the game. She thanks Percy for having the flexibility. And he's like, hey, man, this is a family organization.
Yeah.
Lennox is out here making dudes build families every day. Start families, I should say.
Against their will.
That's the thing. It's never against their will. They always are fully on board. They are here for it.
But they don't understand why. It's almost like they're being compelled.
Yeah, it is.
We're going to find out this is a dark fantasy series in book
Fiona
book 13.
Davenport is the evil wizard.
Book 13, they open a portal to hell.
Oh, did they masturbate? That opens the portal to hell, you know.
It's the crossover with I can't remember how to pronounce her name.
Viano Oniomo.
Viano Oniomo,
Yeah.
that portal to pleasure. Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And they all go to hell where they beat the Devils football team, and then they fuck the Devils cheerleaders.
Yeah. That sounds dope. Somebody should write that series immediately, please. Thank you. But back to this one. After the game, she is released as soon as the game is done. She's not going to stay to do any of the usual admin stuff so that she can get to see her family. She texts Gage just to say that she's leaving and she's going to stop by and give him a kiss before she goes. But he's like, no. I will wait for me outside of the player's entrance. I'll be there in a few minutes. Don't leave without me. And he comes out a few minutes later. He's fully showered and fresh. He is excited and pumped and ready to meet the parents, right?
And hard as a woodpecker's beak.
Every day of his life. Every day. She's really touched that he is making this effort, especially because like the team jet is taking off in like not that long. He's really gonna just stop by, say hi, shake hands, and leave if that's the schedule. So he's making a lot of effort. But while they're taking their Uber over, he tells her, "No, I am not going home with the team. I'm gonna stay for dinner. And because the team bought your ticket, I had them cancel it." And I chartered us a private jet home so we can fly home whenever we want and have as much time with your family as possible.
And bonus points, we have a greater impact on the environment.
Yes, absolutely true. This is Fionaverse, though, Earth 964, whatever, where planes do not run on carbon emissions. They run on hope.
Oh, okay.
And angel farts. I don't know.
Fuck it.
Whatever.
I don't
this
care.
Is a fantasy world where fiction is reality and heteronormative romantic relationships don't make me feel icky. I mean,
I don't even care anymore. I've become completely inured.
Inured.
It's a word you don't get to use very often.
No, but it's so fun to say.
Inured.
It's that liquid U.
It is
so good.
Inured. Inured.
Inured.
So semantically satisfying.
It is. And then it sounds like the Doppler effect. Inured.
I don't even remember what word it was to begin with.
Inured.
Inured.
Anyway, should we get back to this book?
God, yes.
Yes. Okay. So they go to her family home. And he has organized this big grand gesture for her to prove that he wants to be part of her life as much as possible, right? He's made all of this effort and she is very touched. But when they get to her house, she's like, my brothers are in there. You still have the opportunity to leave. I will not judge you. And he's like, I'm a football player. How bad can they be? Well, they can be as bad as toxic older brothers are. I mean, you know, it's fine. Whatever. So they go inside and they meet her family. So her parents, Helen and Brad, and her brothers and their wives. So Russell and Phyllis and Ridley and Brandy. They do not have books, but they might in the future.
Yeah.
I mean, I will say that every single person in this book is coupled up. There is no room for, she is making like other series just in case pick points everywhere. And I love it. It's just so smart.
I love the commitment. You're planting seeds for other universes.
Exactly. So Rory's brothers do their brotherly bullshit. They start arguing with Gage about which sport is better, baseball, hockey, football, blah, 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 blah. They argue about the number of games versus the amount of time played versus the number of injuries. It's just guy stuff. Yeah, whatever. And eventually all of the women in the room have to sort of knock everyone upside their heads and be like, shut the fuck up, let's have dinner and behave like civilized people, which they do, though we don't see that part. What we do see is a moment after dinner where the brothers then pull Gage into an empty room and like do the intimidating stand there with their arms crossed, if you hurt her, we'll kill you thing.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, good.
Okay.
I mean, if I hurt her, I would like you to hurt me.
Yeah.
It seems fair. Okay. And then he goes to leave, and then Russell grabs him by the arm and pulls him back and is like, if you knock her up before you put a ring on her finger, I will fucking kill you. And Gage goes, you do not have any say in when she does anything with her body. Fuck off. And I was like, whoa! Holy shit.
Yeah.
Good for you, man.
Wow.
Whoa. That's a feminist take in this book.
I was going to say, that's what we call a feminism bloom.
Yeah.
It just kind of comes out of nowhere.
It was wild. It was crazy, but it was cool. Anyway, on their flight home, they join the Mile High Club. They haven't fucked up to this point. Yeah, we got pretty far in a Fiona book. Yeah. The first thing that happens is that he eats her out, like while she's still sitting in her airplane seat, which is, to me, sounds uncomfortable, but I got this wide ass.
It's true. You do. Well, because when you said her apartment was 200 square feet, I was like, they're not fucking there.
No, never. No, they never do, I don't think.
There's no way they
Absolutely
could fuck
not.
in a 200 square foot apartment.
No, on that loft bed, they'd crush it.
You kidding me?
No.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You'd have to do
it on the floor.
You're doing it in the kitchenette or the futon.
The futon, yeah. Her, she has a love seat. I don't think they even fit.
Yeah.
Maybe the shower. I don't know.
in the schloset.
The schloset. It's a terrible word. It's terrible. It's awful. It sounds like a really bad euphemism for a pussy.
My prison schloset.
I don't even know what noise that was. We are off our rockers. Okay. Whoo. So, once they get done with the eating out in the airplane seats, they move over, because this is a private jet, by the way, they move over to one of those couches, air couch situation. I don't know. And as they are stripping off, it is revealed that Gage has a nipple ring. And she's really like... excited but also hesitant. He's like, touch it, and she's like, I don't want to hurt you.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
But he loves it. Obviously, there's a lot of nipple play that happens in this scene, which is super great. We take advantage of all of that. Eventually, he pulls back to make sure that she's ready, because they're gonna have sex if they continue on, and he doesn't want her to regret any part of her, first time. And of course, just the fact that he is concerned about her has already made her first time as special as it could possibly be, in terms of like, your virginity isn't that special, but at least he cares.
Exactly. Yeah. Thank you for not making a big deal out of it, but thank you for asking.
Yeah, exactly. She then straddles him on this couch to ride him so that she has as much control as possible. And they take a slow, steady approach. I think he plays with her clit. I think he helps her come again as she's getting herself down on there. So this is like the least painful version of losing your virginity ever. Good job, baby girl. You found a good one. And eventually, like, they're having awesome sex. She is having sex with a professional football player on a private jet.
For the first time.
Maybe fuck you a little. Just a little. 1 week later, Rory is getting ready in Gage's bathroom. She spends most of her time at his apartment now, after spending yet another night in his place. And he is getting like his morning feel up while she's doing her hair in the mirror or whatever. And he asks her if she would move in with him. He wants to see her as often as he can. They've already, it's been a week and they've both been busy with work. They haven't seen each other nearly as much as he would like to. Yeah. It's only going to get worse because the semester's starting and she's going to have to focus on that as well as school. Like, just move in.
Plus you got the leaky schlozet.
Go to a doctor. She says that she will think about it. She'll think about moving in with him, but it's quite fast. And he's like, okay, yeah, fast for who though? For your standards or for society's standards? Yeah. And do we care, really? She'll think about it. At the stadium, he walks her up to the booth and they're holding hands, and her boss, Percy, sees that, and he suddenly gets really cold and kind of mean, and that's not his normal friendly professional demeanor, so they're a little confused. But Gage is like, don't worry, we'll take care of it. Rory thinks she's going to get in trouble for dating a player, basically, and Gage is like, I will take care of it. On his way down to the locker room, he runs into Cole, tells Cole his concerns, and Cole's like, nah, it's fine. Her job is safe. She's doing great work. There's no fraternization policy in place, so you're fine. But I'll take care of it anyway.
Yeah, but thank you for telling us.
Yeah. After the game, Cole then checks in with Rory to let her know that whatever Percy's deal is, it's not their deal. Don't worry, your job is absolutely safe. He then shows her down to the post-game room where the other wives and girlfriends and their families wait for their husbands after the game. And there she meets Finley Channing, wife of offensive lineman Rhodes Channing, and Talia Summers, wife of quarterback Brady Summers. Although I'll point out a slight continuity error, Fiona. Talia Summers went into labor in the prologue and she was pregnant in this scene.
Oh, no.
So, little continuity error. That bitch was pregnant the whole time. Poor thing.
Boner ruined.
In this scene, she makes friends with those two other women and they plot to take over the entire Nighthawks organization. Yes, absolutely. I love it. Let's do that. They have won the game this evening, and to celebrate, the rest of the team is going to go to the End Zone, which is a bar that is frequently featured in Fiona's books. But before they can get inside of the bar, our horned up lovebirds have said one too many flirty things to each other, and they turn right back around and get right in the car and they go back to Gage's place. They lose their clothes between the front door and his bed. And once they get to the bed, he then edges her, withholds her orgasm until she agrees to move in with him.
Just once I want somebody to say, don't say edging, but say, I'm going to hold this in escrow.
Hold your orgasm in escrow?
Yeah.
That's fucked up and hilarious. Oh my God. Because just the word escrow makes me feel a little nervous.
Right?
Because it's like a complicated...
It sounds dangerous.
Yes. It's in escrow.
I might not get this orgasm.
They might not get it back.
Oh, no.
Oh, no. It sounds scary.
Am I going to have to give you other orgasms I already had? How would that even work? No. Just call it edging. Too dangerous.
Prefer to call it edging. So yeah, Gage did not know that she had already decided that she was going to move in with him by that point. But the power dynamic here is do what I want or you don't come.
No, okay.
Yeah, they don't talk about it. This is not best kink practices, but it's obviously a dynamic that they agree on, and it's not the actual substance of their relationship.
Okay.
Yeah. Over the next few days, she moves all of her stuff in. Not that she has much stuff in that tiny little apartment, but she does have a collection of really cringy gamer t-shirts that have like silly sayings on them.
Yeah.
And that's fun. One evening while they're like lying in bed enjoying a post fuck. They're always fucking, obviously.
Yeah.
She gets a text from Percy asking if she can come in early the next day, and she agrees to come in between her classes. So she's got to like come in from campus to Long Island and back to campus to have this conversation. At that meeting the next day, so the meeting starts out just her and Percy and him basically expressing his discomfort that she's dating a player and how unprofessional he thinks it is, et cetera, et cetera. But that really quickly becomes an argument with Cole and Gage now in the office as well,
okay,
defending Rory. And Percy gets really, really close to being a prick. Like, he is implying that she is making inappropriate choices and stuff. And I think somebody was going to punch him probably, but...
That's her boss, right?
That's her boss.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, he's the, like, head analytics guy.
Oh, yeah, that's... Okay, yeah.
Before it can come to blows, we are all saved by Lennox Madison, who has come down here specifically at Cole's request to tell Percy to back off. He is literally there to be like, we don't have a fraternization policy for a reason. I would never stand in the way of true love.
Yeah.
Y'all kids are great. Have fun. Percy, fucking watch it. And then he leaves. Like, he's literally just like Deus ex billionaire, in and out. We love him. We love him so much.
I'm going to put you on a fucking pip if you don't knock it off.
Seriously,
I'm gonna
my
put
guy?
You on a cap, pip, whatever. You're on it.
I'm going to have you sign a thing with HR.
Yep.
God. And we don't do e-signs, so I'm going to have to come down here. And that's fucked.
Yeah.
I mean, anyway. So Rory's job is safe. Percy is appropriately chastened. And Cole makes sort of vague allusions to something chaotic happening in his life. Read his book to find out. It's book 12. Then Gage and Rory officially declare their I love yous. The end.
Aww.
Yeah. As always, there are epilogues.
Whoa.
We have 2 epilogues.
Well.
Yes. So epilogue 1, a few months later, it's now Valentine's Day and they exchange their gifts. So Gage got Rory a new cringe gamer t-shirt. Rory, who is now pregnant because they have been having unprotected sex the entire time.
Just blasting away.
They talked about it a couple of times. At one point, he was like, "You're probably already knocked up with my baby." And it was like day 9 or something. Because that's just how Fiona is with her book. So I didn't talk about it much.
Your brothers are going to be pissed.
Oh, they're going to be so fucking mad. But anyway.
Oh, but wait, I'm a millionaire pro athlete.
It's fine. So Rory got Gage herself in some sexy lingerie. I think she got like a custom I think it was an underbust football jersey with his number on the back of it. Like, it sounded like it was,
yeah.
And then underneath, it sounded fucking dope. It sounded great. She sounded hot. But then she also got his number and name tattooed on herself.
Well,
as the ultimate show of ownership. She's got his number on her forever.
Wow. Pregnant and permanently marked.
I know,
in
right?
9 days.
Uh-huh.
There's no way that this can go wrong.
I'm not marked in 9. It's been months.
Yeah, it's true. That's a good point.
Pregnant,
pregnant,
pretty
potentially
fast.
9 days.
Either way. Then they have a bunch of sex about it.
Yeah.
Of course. Epilogue 2. 4 years later, Rory is now pregnant again with child number 2. Gage is now retired. This has been his last season. He's 35.
That makes perfect sense. It's time for old Gage to head off to the glue factory.
Exactly. And to celebrate his final win and his final championship, because the Nighthawks won the championship again. I don't know if that's the Super Bowl or what. You can't say Super Bowl in a book.
Well.
In celebration of his final championship, he has announced he's taken his family to Florida. And
because you can't say Disney World either.
Yeah. Well, so You can't. But so
That one you actually can't. Disney's way more powerful than the NFL.
he surprises her by actually having her pack. She thought he was just kind of full of shit talking for the cameras, but she's like, I can't. I'm pregnant. I don't know if I can do like a Florida family trip right now, my guy. And he's like, we're not doing theme parks. Private jet. I called your parents, 2 weeks in a condo on the beach. That's my dream vacation.
Yeah, it actually is.
That she's like, fuck yes, sounds amazing. The end. That was spread offense. Thank you.
Wow. Again, from inauspicious beginnings, this book rose like a horny
phoenix.
Like a horny hard cock of a phoenix. Just wow.
Technically, a male phoenix would be called a phoenix cock. What are you into, darling?
That's a great question. I was teeing up a segue, but it probably was going to go off the rails. So thank you for saving me from that.
You're welcome. Sometimes I just go right into it. Begin. What are you into?
I am into a book, a series of books. I kind of held on to this one for a while, but when I was last in Chicago with our son for his birthday, I stopped into one of my favorite stores in the whole wide world, Reckless Records, and I picked up a couple of my favorite types of books, and those are the 33 1/3 series from Bloomsbury. It is so great. I picked up, they've expanded the series since I first picked up the book on DJ Shadow's End Traducing from 1996. They've branched out into a series of genres. So I picked up another copy of 33 1/3, the essay on 33 1/3. I guess I should explain what they are. They're a series of books primarily on albums, specific albums like DJ Shadow's Introducing. But then they've expanded into genres. So I picked up the dance punk genre essay, and then Koji Kondo. They did a book about Koji Kondo's Super Mario Brothers soundtrack, which is so fucking up my alley that I cannot believe it. So I'm into Bloomsbury's 33 1/3 book series, and I still have half a mind that I'm going to try and submit to do one of those in the future, even though I don't have a CV of work that would make them think that I could do a 30,000 word essay, but I got plans. What are you into?
Oh, that's such a hard question because I have been in a depressed mood and not into anything lately.
Yeah. I struggled. I had to struggle to come up with that. I'm in them right there with you.
Yeah. Let's go with making shit.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been a while since I've done a concept.
Yep.
Making shit. I've been doing a lot of making things. It keeps my brain occupied. It keeps my hands occupied. I love making beautiful little things. I'm looking at a few things I made right now. 1, 2, 3, 4. I've got a shit ton of wand clips now, which are just really fancy roach clips, and a bunch of bracelets and shiny things. It makes me happy to make stuff.
Yeah.
I'm into making shit.
It's fun, right?
Yeah, I love it.
2 things you made, sleeping upstairs.
Yeah, they're up there, snoring away.
Yeah. Now, normally this is where I would ask you what you're going to be reading next week.
Yeah.
But I kind of want to keep that under wraps a little bit.
Oh, okay, yeah. Special 100th episode surprise.
A special 100th episode surprise. It's something we've done before, but this time it holds a little bit. It's an author we've covered before, but I feel like covering this author for this specific episode bears a little bit of significance, and we will talk about that on the episode, which will be our 100th episode, again, being recorded next week when we are in Baltimore, Maryland for Monsterotica BookCon 2025, May 8th through 10th in Baltimore, Maryland. Is there anything else that you would like to say to anybody before I do that thing that I do at the end of every episode?
If you're coming to Monsterotica, be sure to seek me out and be sure to participate in our new hire employee scavenger hunt.
Yes, our new employee hire scavenger hunt. Come see us. Come stop us and say hi. If you are a listener and you are going to Monsterotica, yes, please come over and say hi to us. We would love to meet the people that actually listen to this, because sometimes it's very hard to believe that people actually listen to this thing that we do.
Oh, yeah.
It's insane. I will save the gushing for next week, but in the meantime, you can find us on social media. We are on Instagram, TikTok, Blue Sky. All of those links are in the link tree, which is in the show notes down below. If you would like to contact us via email, please do so, cheapsmutpod gmail.com. You can click on the link down in the show notes to get this book, or when this book hits, or when this episode hits the main feed, it will be the top link on the link tree. If you just feel like going through the link tree, it's fine, but no matter where you click on it, it is not an affiliate link. We do not get any money for this. We're just trying to help the authors out. If you would like to support us financially, you can do so on Patreon for just $1 a month, like these fine folks have: Lindsay Rain, Eden Knox, Zach, Zoe Barrett, Emily Purley, Aaron Manak, Miss Chris, Raven, Natasha Bear, Desiree Rodriguez, Local Mind Flayer Seattle number 42, Vincent Sultanfuss, Kitsune Inc., Cassie, Cassandra, April D. Berry, Dana Goddard, Stephanie Hawkins, Gemma, Lady Squishy Buns, Tia Esk, Rob Gatika, Angela McNichols, Katie Hurd, Gwendolyn Harper, Seneca O, and Rebecca K. The music that you hear in this and every episode for now is called Nostalgia by Mackay Beats. You can find it along with thousands of other songs free of charge for you to use at the Free Music Archive, freemusicarchive.org.
Listener, remember, if there's a book in you, write it. And if there's fucking in it, I'll read it.
And then she'll come on this show and explain it to me for your entertainment.
I have to go put this guy to bed now. Bye.